अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता। पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल बंगा। विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा। तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मांगे। गाहे तव जय गाथा जन गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता। जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे।
Today is the 9th Eastern India Microfinance Summit, and we have got enormous response from different organizations, and we are having here most renowned and respectable guests and speakers. Also, we have here the audience and participants from different organizations. I welcome all of them here. I cannot name all the dignitaries, but some of them I like to mention here. Mr. Chandra Shekhar Ghosh, founder Bandhan Bank, Dr. Alok Mishra, CEO, MPhil, Shri G.G. Memon, ED, Sadhan, Mr. Abhirup Sarkar, Chairman, West Bengal Infrastructure Development Finance Corporation, West Bengal, Dr. Sudhir Kumar Sinha, Secretary and Nodal Officer.
I feel proud in the moment. Many of the senior, the people who are very earlier also involved in microfinance, they are also given their time to attend in here. So thank you to all of you. Of course, we will be not only that the AMFI role, whatever we are playing, along with the AMFI and Sadhan, and both the representative are in here, and it has been enriched. The total program is very big. Many way we are talking about it. Today I am talking in another way on that to all. The 8 crores family we reached as a country, 40 crores the population, 4 lakh crores as a outstanding, all are 4.
I would like to place my request to all the panel participants that the discussion, whenever it is going on, it should come out as actionable and it should be understandable to the parties like us, external people also. When I say external, we also are participant to this industry, but as far as MFI is concerned, we also find that a little bit of course correction is required. When I say course correction, I do not mean that the way we were moving was not correct, but circumstances have changed.
It is a privilege. Also, it is a privilege to be in the company of the dignitaries who have the vast experience and who have contributed in the growth of microfinance sector. Ghosh sir, he has already underlined this microfinance sector is not for financial gains, it is for social gains and it is for growth of the society at large. The people who have been neglected, who don't have access to the capital, the primary objective of the microfinance players is to enable them grow and have a better living standard. So that is the guiding post for all the activities which are to be envisaged and the way we move forward.
In more than one sense, I'm an outsider to this. I am neither a banker nor attached to any microfinance institution. My real identity is that of an academics. I've taught and researched for almost 40 years now, more than 40 years actually, at the Indian Statistical Institute. That's my real identity. Now, what I'll do is, I will talk a little bit about microfinance institutions from the point of view of the users, from the point of view of the society. It won't be from the point of view of the practitioners or from the point of view of the institutions.
So I would, because in this hall I see there are 4 types of stakeholders. A regulator is there, funders and investors are there, regulated entities are there, and media is also there. So I would like to address few points to each and then close my remarks here. The industry which serves 8.5 crore borrowers, low income borrowers, and if you take each household members as 4, it's almost 30 crore of Indian population. The credit outstanding is 4 lakh crores, contributes 3% to India's GDP, and has given a consistent good asset quality of 98% recovery, and still gets flagged day in and day out. That needs to be addressed. Dada said that we have to do some research studies, prove our impact, go beyond numbers. We are already doing that, Dada. This year, by April, you will see we have commissioned a large-scale study by NCAR of 10,000 borrowers across 100 districts of India. But how?
Moderators and speakers, kindly come down for a group photo with Aditya Chatterjee. Request him to kindly come in front of the stage for a group photo.
So this scheme we started is the end-to-end digital. Like MFIs or our partner institutions, they are basically sourcing the applications, because the prayas we started, okay, it's somewhere, in fact MFIs are also finding tough, okay, beyond a certain limit they are not very much comfortable to fund to the end borrowers through. So that's why in fact they are also losing some of their customers which are there with them with long time. So the prayas scheme we started around 2 years back, and definitely good portfolio has been created during this short time. We have catered to around more than some around 2.5 lakh customers, and the portfolio outstanding somewhere is 2,700 crores, and 5,000 crores we have already sanctioned and disbursed under the scheme. Should be.
The thing is that let us first of all see that what are the challenges are there. So I was also hearing some of the speakers. I have got some different views on this. The first thing is that let us acknowledge and accept the problems. Unless we acknowledge the problems, we will not be able to find solutions. The thing is that we try to always give some reasons when problems emerge, but that will not give the solutions. So first and foremost thing is that
the problems need to be acknowledged. And this acknowledgement should come from the SROs of the self-regulatory organizations. If the SROs acknowledge the problems first, it will be resolved also very fast.
We as an organization, when we are an NBFC MFI, we started our operations in West Bengal in 2010, opening our first branch in Alhati, near to the Jharkhand. We were very slow in growing here. Once we became the bank, so we partnered with around 8 BCs or institutions here in West Bengal, and closely 3 lakhs customers we are serving through both in the deposit as well as on the liability and the asset side. Not only microfinance, it's also on the secured lending also. So thank you once again, association, for inviting us, and I consider a privilege to be a part of this Eastern India Microfinance Summit of 2025. The topics which we was selling on the policy support and strategy guidance, I want to share a few things which came to my mind and on my own experience.
And if you look at lending, you have both secured and unsecured. Needless to add, secured is far more safer given the fact that you have access to some collateral which you can then salvage if the customer goes delinquent. But in unsecured loans, there is pretty much nothing that you can do except go repeatedly to the customer, follow up, try some legal letters just to shake up the family, but otherwise there is nothing else that you can do. Now, the first misconception in the industry, which is a loan of 24% interest, the typical belief is that you charge 24 rupees for a loan of 100 rupees for 1 year. The actual truth is you charge 13.5 rupees. And why is that? Because 24% is quoted on a reducing balance basis. It is not 24% across the tenure of the loan. As you can see there, the principal goes down with every payment that you make, and the equated monthly installment, initially it is more of interest, and towards the end it is more of principal. Right? So this is the first misconception, that it is not 24%, it is 13.5%. And why do we quote 24%? Because the RBI
strategic guidance. I think before I come to the specific points that I have outlined here in my small and brief presentation, is that the industry has been tremendously resilient. It has seen a lot of challenges, and Manoj has already articulated very well how difficult it is to run a microfinance business. We have seen challenges, and every time there is a challenge, there is an innovation and there is an improvement. The first challenge, which was at a very large scale, which actually shook the existence of microfinance, was the Andhra Pradesh crisis. And out of that, a lot of MFIs came out, and one of the things, a great learning came out, that everybody has to diversify its portfolio. And if you can see today, most of the companies have well-diversified portfolio. Nobody is a single state player anymore, unless when you start very early, then you might be a single state player, but largely everybody is diversified. That is one.
Moderators and speakers, kindly come down for a group photo with Aditya Chatterjee, requesting to kindly come in front of the stage.
Colleagues, friends, and Guru, all are in here. I am feel grateful to all of you. Even this the lifetime achievement. Feeling that I am now retired. Sir, lifetime means I will not come. I will not contract to all of you. I am so much old. I will be like to live in my home only. Is it correct, sir? No.
আপনি বললেন যে আপনি বেশি ব্যস্ত হয়ে গেছেন।
লাইফটাইম দিয়ে দিয়েছেন তো সেই জন্য কি আর আসা যাবে না? So I feel this is my base. I like this industry. I like these activities. I started from these activities, and these people has given the award to me to come to this position, to receive the award. All of in the dignitaries who are
ask.
I'll try to be as quick as possible because we have great industry stalwarts and dignitaries. I'm sure we want to all hear more from them. So quickly, you know, we have gathered some data on the microfinance industry and the state of West Bengal. And like all the previous eminent speakers who spoke, we are seeing that, you know, while the data does signify that the industry is going through a downturn, the state of West Bengal, in fact, is a green shoot where the uptrend has started. Going back to the fact that this has been a resilient sector, microfinance has always bounced back. We always see green shoots. And I think the state of West Bengal is really paving the path for that. And we will see how the data looks from here on. So moving to the...
Good afternoon and welcome to this session. Possibly, I think the last before the lunch. We are, I think it's just about 2 hours delay, not much. So congratulations, AMFI and Ashit Babu, not for the delay, but trust you me, I have never seen this kind of very interesting debate that I have seen through since the beginning. You know, both in favor defending microfinance, somebody attacking regulator very different way, very passively, but a lot of interesting things happened. It's more like, you know, Indian cricket team. First the whitewash in India and then gone to Australia, you know what happened to that. Now Gautam Gambhir has one version and the players concerned like Virat Kohli and Rohit Sharma, they in private say something else and Sunil Gavaskar saying something else, Ravi Shastri saying something else, who should retire right now, what should be done, team should be changed. So it's a 360-degree perspective and excellent that I heard. And this is, I have not seen any microfinance event, this kind of debate. Khullam khulla, sab kuch bol diya. So it's very good. And we don't have much time, so I don't want to take it very long, but just maybe we'll just have 1 to a few minutes, 3-4 minutes each from you, and then if the time permits, we can have a second round.
This industry, right, is highly dependent on the credit bureau in terms of understanding customers' credit behavior in the past. So we talk about the intention to pay, right, and essentially the intention to pay, you can understand from the customer's credit history that, you know, how much, how much she has taken and like how regularly she has paid. And also you try to understand that what is the debt level of the customer, whether customer can really sort of service the debt that you're going to give. Now the challenge that we kind of face here is, because in the rural sector you find that number one, the names are very similar. You find date of birth pretty much 70-80% have date of birth is 1st January, right? So it's always a challenge to sort of gather the data into a single customer sort of thing, right? So it becomes important that what is that customer ID or what sort of an ID you're going to use? Is that if we had an Aadhaar earlier, which give us very good match, right? But today...
In fact, if you see the recent circular of the RBI, RBI has very specifically said that that should be captured and that should be reported on a format which has been mentioned. If that happens, it's well and good. Otherwise, a large chunk of data which MFI borrowers are involved with, because most of these SHG borrowers are also, at least 60-70% of them are also MFI borrowers. So if that data is not getting captured, that much data, gap is there. That is number one. Number two, about the identity, ID proof, because right now for the KYC, MFIs are not allowed to take the Aadhaar as the ID. And you have all kind of IDs other than Aadhaar, like ration card, your voter card, you have all kind of things, which can be all duplicated. In fact, I myself have 2-3 voter card, I would say. So it is different. It is
in the beginning, you said, I heard you that this going back to the group level and connectivity, that's the Mool mantra. You seem to don't give much importance to technology. But tell us, how do we plug the loopholes and what is the way forward?
Good, thank you, Tamalda. I have the one doctor, and he was taken a 1 hour time, first check of my everything, talked with me, and after that I said that the doctor, can you give some test?
Sometimes you get 2 different reports, right? So how do I now, because now, now both cannot be true, So then I should be able to give an opportunity to the customer to correct that and go back to the credit bureau and say that this is the correct report. So that mechanism they have to enable so that it can be done easily.
Thanks. Kuldeep, same thing. What you can do and what you expect Aditya to do?
So basically, I think we already practice that submitting the data on a regular basis. I think more accuracy may be required from our side. So that is the one thing we can do. And from the credit bureau side also, I think the processing of the data should be as quick as possible so that we can get the live data. And also what he also said, there should be some uniformity in the report. So that borrower, they should not say in one report they are saying the data showing that the borrower is a defaulter, and in other credit bureau it is not showing. So I think the uniformity should be maintained.
I would like to call Mr. Aniket Poddar to please come and hand over the token of appreciation to all our speakers. Yeah.
Good afternoon. Fully recognize that this is the post-lunch session, so we'll try to keep it exciting, but I think it will be more efficient if we keep it short, given the time overlap. We've got half an hour? Okay. Great. I think it was a very exciting first half where a lot of aspects from different people who were associated with the industry spoke, and I'm sure each one of them had their own perspective in terms of how the sector has grown, numbers, values, issues today, their own perspectives in terms of how to handle that.
Thank you, sir. Good afternoon, all of you. Actually, in SIDBI, actually, we started in mid-90s, actually, after seeing the Grameen Bank model. Then, actually, SIDBI has realized that we have to develop the microfinance sector when the market is too large. So the SIDBI Foundation Microcredit, actually, SMMC, which was set up in 1999, and actually to create around 50 to 100 MFIs so that strong and stable MFIs so that they can formally lend and formally lender and can extend help to the financial sectors, these MFI sectors, that those who are disadvantaged sections at women. And after that, actually, in 2019, actually, we have realized that without digitization, it cannot be done, actually.
Yeah. Hello. Yeah. Good afternoon, all. First of all, I will thank AMFI again for inviting me to be part of this panel, because it puts me back in touch with the microfinance sector, which, as you know, I represent NABARD, so that's a subject, that's a sector that is very close to NABARD's heart. And we started the pilots in microfinance with our SHG. So it's an honor to be here, and thank you, Mr. Nambiar, for introducing me. So as you know that we started the SHG pilot in 1992, and frankly, over the years, if you see the interventions of NABARD, most of our developmental interventions are actually creating microfinance clients, whether it is through the SHG bank linkage program.
Narito is an industry, it is a Tata Group company actually. Earlier it was a Tata Group company, now it's a 100% Japanese company. So it is in market since age of total banking automation when it happened, from registers to first computer getting installed in branches of banks. So Narito has seen ages right from computer. We have our own core banking solution. We have our own LOS, LMS. We do provide solutions to MFI companies. We are market leader in SWIFT services, which is mainly used by PSU banks and large banks mainly. So in terms of technology, I think, especially in the lending space, the things have changed significantly, especially in the last 5-7 years, with the emergence of fintech, also with the various infrastructure requirement which has been bought by government, right from Aadhaar, payments, NPCI, and various other things. So that is changing the world significantly. I think MFI today actually, as good as any bank or NBFC can digitize their entire loan journey. They actually don't need a physical setup when it comes to a loan journey.
So much for the initial pleasantries. Now we get into a bit of power with all of you. I'm also going to allow the audience to ask questions. This is
actually to check whether you are awake or your eyes are just open. Right? So I will kick off the session and then we will come back to the audience questions. So Prasanjit, tell us, you explained the Prayas scheme to us, but what is so unique in that? What is different? Lending, there are so many people who do lending, and lending has been there for ages.
So here actually entire process is digitized. So actually entire journey actually starting from the onboarding, then the eKYCs, the due diligence part, then underwriting parts, credit scoring, and documentation. So entire journey is digitized. So it has improved the TAT actually, the credit delivery and credit dispensation process actually.
Data quantity was never the issue. I think it's more about being available on the IT system so that it can be fed into the bureau. So either Equifax or Highmark or Experian or CIBIL, if they don't get that feed, then they will not be able to show that. But we'll come back on that question. Manish, IT sounds very, very interesting when you talk about AI, machine learning, you spoke about eKYC, payment systems, account aggregator and all that. But why is it that most of us as institutions are not able to grab the full picture and get the benefit of all that you are saying? I mean, where is that disconnect between what you all are dreaming and why we are not able to get it on a practical basis?
But yeah, it's a definite challenge. And what tends to happen is in times like this when, when your profitability is really hit as an entity, you start prioritizing on what will give you more immediate benefit. So what will really push up revenues immediately without, if you build IT capability or you build the digitization capability, the benefits are more long drawn out. There is a gestation period for you to get the full benefit. So, at times like this, you would make it second priority, digitizing or leveraging technology, which should not be the case, but it's harsh reality. That's the way we operate.
Also.
We'll need partnerships and innovative solutions in order to achieve those diversifications. So, in order to discuss this, we have an esteemed panel with us here. My name is Deepak Alok, and interestingly, two of my panelists, he is Deepak and he is Alok, and I am Deepak Alok. So that's one trivia for this panel. And Mr. Debal, he's from MSWAST, and Ganesh, everybody knows, Mr. Modak. So,
and then on top of that, multiple use cases. From the time we have been hearing many aspects around microfinance, starting from the fact that the loan ticket sizes that we have today don't necessarily address the full credit needs. So on one side, we are talking about over-indebtedness, but there is also the other side where under-leveraged client is also at equal risk. So we also developed models around what would be the appropriate loan ticket size, what would be the appropriate risk-adjusted return that needs to be given, what are the kind of cross-sell opportunities that exist.
They have all the BC companies, they have a separate version of the IT and IT integration, they have a process, they have a credit underwriting system, so that always not matching with the BC companies or who is working as a co-lending partner of the BC. So these major challenges we are facing. And market risks, if you see the market downturns means when the market is not behaving well, suppose some bank is, even some NBFC also, they are thinking that suppose our portfolio is not behaving well.
So depend on the BC. So BC
are maintained by the bank as well as SFP and other MFI also, other NBFCs also. But they are customized their solution as per their wish. I will not mention their needs, as they wish. Somebody are asking some solution as they thought. Somebody are asking difference. Even some.
Yeah, good afternoon to all. Thank you, Deepak ji. Now, regarding the operation that we are having is that, firstly, the MFI customers are our customers. We do not sell it directly in the market. So we have to do it through institutional sales, be it through MFIs, be it through banks, be it through NBFCs, NGOs. We sell it through these partners. We cannot just go and sell directly to the customers. The reason being,
so many banks, so they are offering us for the diversified product, even for bigger product. Just we have tied up with CIDB, so they have already tied up 50,000 to 5 lakh. So when I cannot offer through my MFI portfolio, so partnership can help us for this. So this is a great opportunity for us, even for MSME client also. Wherever we are thinking that this client cannot be qualified as a MFI client, so that can be treated as a MSME client, or even some for ME client or something like this. When he was Deepak was talking about that 80,000 client, the customer is having that. Yeah, Deepak was talking about climate change. Initially, I thought that the climate change also a big factor, because see that climate change means when you are becoming very hot. So that time, suppose this year actually we have seen the last year that 50 degrees Celsius is the hot climate is there. So most of the time, if you see that all our MFI people as a field officers, you will see that geotagging, all these things are going on. But if you see that they are sitting in a tea shop or somewhere else, because the climate is like this only. So then people also tend to work from 4 to 5, morning 5 o'clock to 10 o'clock. After the 10, the weather is too hot, so you cannot work. So that itself is a great cost, operational cost increase. Our operational cost will be increased like this only. So many climate change effect actually we are getting already. We are not noticing it. So our operational cost also impacting on that.
Thank you. Ganesh sir.
Okay, coming to your specific question, I'd like to highlight around 32 years experience of this field I have. So when we started microfinance, that time we did not take any KYC. Even without any KYC, without any signature, we have given loan. After that, we started KYC. What type of KYC? Any ration card, or if any have no any ration card, they can bring one panchayat certificate. He is reside here. So that type norms were that. Right now, the sector has been changed. Even somebody are, as discussed our morning also, somebody have 2-3 voter card.
It was a very insightful session. So as we discussed, 8 crore households, this is a big opportunity. There is a big opportunity also in terms of untapped markets. So there is 75% market still untapped. So that is another opportunity. And MFI is giving a great platform for various service providers, be health, it could be a various different types of service providers who can partner with the microfinance institutions, and they can provide required services. But at the same time, as you said, they have to act in a very responsible manner so that the needs of the customers are actually served. And
speakers kindly come down for a group photo with Aditya Chatterjee, requesting to kindly come in front of the stage for a group photo.
Multi-level of challenges and different points of time, but India still managed to hold on because we have a regulator who is as strict as it gets, but at the same time understand the nuances on the ground and try to come up with different options so that as the economy we perform better. And in this context, and today when microfinance all are saying facing a lot of challenge, yes, life is not always a bed of roses. We have to go through difficult phases. And as a lot of people have said in the morning, that we are going through slightly difficult phase. Where
a few days back, there was some problem in eastern part of UP when some female clients were provoked by the paid pool and they beat the Chief Minister's camp office at Gorakhpur. Thousands of females went to the Chief Minister's office. And the Chief Minister was there, he got upset, what is all has happened. Then the Commissioner and the District Magistrate was called and they were asked.
The client requirements. This is what our life is all about every day. Because what happens is, you see all these three facets. There are certain regulations probably for the banks in terms of what is the kind of PSL they need to build. There are certain regulations when it comes to clients. It could be customer grievance, it could be customer protection. But MFIs in the mid get sandwiched. You do not have something or someone to probably take care of you. Since the word usurious first time was mentioned in the master guidelines that came in 2022, and they said the rate should not be usurious. Now, is it written somewhere? What's the definition of usurious? Because the interpretation of me versus some other MFIs versus the regulator would be different. Right? Yes, we all took it very, very diligently that yes, we'll have to ensure that the end customer has to be benefited. The end customer does not suffer.
Forget about banks versus MFIs. It's a question of banks versus big MFCs versus the smaller MFIs, right? And when you have BC, I don't know how much you run a BC or not, but most of the SFBs run BCs. So the challenge on the KYC and maintaining things at the ground level, how difficult is that? Being a implementer direct vis-a-vis an implementer indirect. What I mean by that is you run a BC program with multiple small NGOs and all. At the end of the day, it's banks' regulation. I mean, the banks have to comply with, right? So how do you see it? How difficult is it becoming on the ground? Is it that it is difficult for you to do so, you're dependent on the third parties? Or it is equally challenging to manage?
That happens at ground, and for that, Aadhaar authentication is important, voter authentication is important, PAN, currently this NSDL, etc. So PAN authentication has also started, that is important, so that things doesn't breach. We don't breach the KYC norms. KYC norms, if we breach KYC norms, we will have a difficult time. And especially when we are going for universal banking license in a few days, it will be more difficult for us. So getting right KYC is not that much of difficult, if you really want to get it.
No, thank you, Rajat. That's a very positive answer, and good that we are getting those KYCs right. Thanks to Aadhaar as well. Now, actually, Anjan, with your bit,
lenders and what now? Then again, there is a government who is announcing waiver, and somewhere there is a Karz Mukti Andolan. That is going on. Somewhere somebody is saying, I will give you money, you'll have to lend at a proper rate of interest, but you'll have to give me 14% rate of interest, added to that you'll have to give me 10% FLDG, added to that you'll have to give me 110% of security for hypothecation. So what else do you do? Like when you break dance, like okay, de do paisa, जो भी देना है दे दो, हम लोग बाद में देखेंगे क्या होगा. The regulations is on MFIs, fine, but what about those who are lending to us? Like I'm talking about everyone. Like I'm talking about. Thankfully, Ashita puts me in the second half where media is there.
As much as we want to criticize or say anything, it's a choice we have taken ourselves to build this. And there are thorns along the way. and we have to figure out a way to walk through the thorns with the right type of shoes or support or whatever it is. But I believe we are navigating it, and we are navigating it reasonably well. You know, I'll say that after 30 years I am working in this industry, very few fail, and that's a big testament to our resilience, the way we are working. So now coming back to our fifth panelist, who is from a slightly different, world, not world I would say, I mean not directly into microfinance, but probably indirectly into microfinance. So sir, what is your view when you look at it as a I would say sector enabler in some way or the other? How do you see this regulation, and how does you see it as an outsider but very much involved in this segment?
Ladies and gentlemen, so I would like to first congratulate AMFI West Bengal to give me such opportunity to remain in this platform. I would like to congratulate SMBC GM Mr. Balbir Singh, actually, who has personally advised me to remain here. So, I am coming from a different domains, that is what, not the microfinance, because we do not take deposit, neither we do lending, but we do correspondence. I think we are one of the roles that you can consider as the pivotal role people are playing day in day out. So
the way the sector has evolved over the past 30 years, we have moved from microcredit to credit plus and a hell lot of services to the customers, which has been a win-win situation for customers in terms of getting those services at doorstep, for the regulated entities in some way getting positively impacted in their profitability. But at the backdrop of this regulatory regime of DPDP, the Privacy Act, do you foresee that this will stringent the other third-party services which were being delivered to the customers, and in a way we will make the sector more confined to microcredit only?
All the guests are please requested to please go to hall number 5 for the valedictory session.
And all others. I don't know how many of you know me, but been part of the microfinance journey when it all started, 1995. And many of you are not in this sector then. So what it means is I'm an old man, not like a lot of youngsters here. But of course, being old, I cannot say that I have gained a lot of wisdom. I'm still a perennial learner, learning every tricks of the trade. And with all veterans here who are implementing microfinance day in and day out, every interaction for me is a learning. And I enjoy moderating because it's an easier job to do, because you don't speak much. You may make others speak, right? So I'll try to do some justice to the job assigned. And I have an amazing bunch of panelists with me, all experts in their own right.
আমরা লেটে চলছি তার ফলে বোঝা যাচ্ছে যে প্রায় 70% খালি হয়ে গেছে বাট ইট ওয়াজ রিয়েলি ইন্টারেস্টিং ডে হোপ উই অল এনজয়েড অ্যাজ ইউজুয়াল উই অলওয়েজ ভেরি উই আর নট ভেরি মাচ কি বলবো যে শিডিউল যেভাবে করা হয় টাইম অনুযায়ী আমরা করতে পারিনি সেজন্য অর্গানাইজেশনের তরফ থেকে আমি ক্ষমা প্রার্থী তো আমরা অনেক কিছু জানলাম বুঝলাম শিখলাম কিন্তু আমার কাছে শুধু একটা স্টোরি মনে হয় যে আমরা যাই করি না কেন এন্ড অফ দ্য ডে উইল বি ব্লেম ফর সাম রিজন বিকজ নাও উই আর টকিং অ্যাবাউট দ্য ইন্টারেস্ট রেট বাট বিং এ প্র্যাকটিশনার